Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, the Millennial Investor, and today we're going over Workhorse stock. I made a video about this company many moons ago. It was several months ago when I made this video about Workhorse, so I wanted to give an update. This stock has moved up a massive amount since I last talked about it. When I was talking about this stock was about $8 a share, maybe it was probably around this $10 a share range, and today it is over 20, and that is even after a recent downturn in the last month or so, because this stock used to be worth over $30 a share just a couple months ago. So this stock has came a long way. I wanted to talk about what's changed, the opportunities here, and a lot of people are really excited about this investment. And with all the opportunities that it has, it is either going to be a make or break stock because it is a very speculative investment. But in this video, I wanted to go over a few things. I want to just give an overview of the company, show you what it does, and then I also wanted to talk about the bullish and the bearish side of things. The bullish side of things obviously being the positives for their UPS contract, their ownership in Lordstown Motors, and then it's overall just the direction of the EV market growing, a growing category over the coming years. And then we're also going to give the negative sides of things. We're also going to talk about how the company does not have that UPS deal in writing yet. That is not a guarantee that they will get that. There's also been a short seller report that has came out that has really had a negative impact on the company. That's part of the recent downturn for the downturn in the price and share price. There's worries about other things as well, like the technological capabilities, and then there's some other things I want to talk about that could be some red flags for investors, which was mainly pointed out in this article right here. And then last but not least, I want to talk about the past performance of the stock and how it relates to the future and how you should relate this to your future investments. But if you're not familiar with me, I'm a dividend investor. My name is Jordan. I track my annual income, my YouTube income, my portfolio all through these charts. So if you want to follow along with me on this journey, go ahead and subscribe. I'd invite you to do so. And a quick shout out before we jump into the video, a very quick shout out. We now reached 50 people referred to M1 Finance. 50 different investors have now signed up using this referral link. So go ahead and use that referral link and you can get $10 just for signing up. We have given away $500 worth of referral dollars just to get people signed up through M1. So go ahead and sign up. Link down in the description, and also the link to my portfolio is in the description as well if you want to see the holdings that I currently have. I currently have 26 holdings, and here they are right here. And let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. But Workhorse stock has a multitude of different products, primarily focusing on delivery drones and electric vehicles. Now, if we go ahead and jump into this article right here, and we see this little picture right here. This is the vehicle that Lordstown Motors is making. Lordstown Motors paid Workhorse $15.8 million for that IP, and Workhorse will make 1% on every endurance truck sold for the first 200,000 and is titled to 1% of any debt or equity financing for the new startup raise. Now this is huge for Workhorse because Lordstown Motors is going to be another electric vehicle company. Now regardless of how successful Lordstown Motor is, Workhorse has a 10% equity stake in their company. Now their trucks will be selling for about $52,500, so a very hefty price tag, and they'll be rolling out in the beginning of 2021, so a couple months from the time I'm filming this video. Now if they're successful, Workhorse will be making, like I said, about 1% off of every truck sold, as well as owning about 10% of the company, and they also have some other things as well as like some factory partnerships, so they're very integrated with this company. Now I think that their trucks look very good. I can't speak to their performance, they're not out yet. Now if we just go ahead and scroll through a couple of pictures of this, you can see some of the main pictures of this vehicle, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm going to keep scrolling through here just so you can get an idea of what the truck looks like. And yeah, there you go. There's some of the top 10 pictures. But Workhorse has a number of different things because this is not so much focused on Lordstown. This is focused on Workhorse. The main thing that people are excited about are the C1000 and C650 delivery vehicles, okay? And this is what is potentially going to be used for UPS trucks. Now you see that these already have the shape and design of the UPS truck. Let's go ahead and look at this right here. Workhorse's group flagship line is a C series of last mile delivery trucks. The company is manufacturing both the 650 and 1000 models named for the carrying capacity and expected to dominate the industry. Over the past year, the company has garnered approval from 50 states, making it the only EV delivery vehicle license for operation nationwide. That's important for any EV fleet with a nationwide presence. Now, if we keep scrolling to the next article here, earlier this year, late summer to be exact, whispers that Workhorse Group could receive a big contract from the USPS began to circulate, worth upwards of $6.3 billion. $6.3 billion. Worth upwards of $6.3 billion, the chances the company will actually get the contract are still up in the air. If it does, it will be immediately catapulted into full-scale mass production. As of last report, there were 3 bidders still in the running to replace USPS 165,000 aging delivery vehicles. Based on what the analysts are saying, it could really go either way for Workhorse Group. And then once again, if you want to read the rest of this, you can see this right here. But I want to keep going forward, and I wanted to fast forward to this paragraph. Even if Workhorse fails to secure this very lucrative contract, it is a win-win for them. The company has been launched into the spotlight and its vehicles confirmed as a viable choice for EV fleets, but it would still be better if the company got the contract. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to M1 Finance here, and let's go ahead and click the Research tab, and let's type in their ticker symbol, WKHS, Workhorse Group, and you see that their stock, like I said, is about $20 a share. Now, at that price, at $20 a share, that puts it at a $2.2 billion market cap. Now remember, at this company at one point in time was a $30+ stock, which means that it was over a $3 billion market cap. But with a $2 billion market cap, this is a very high price stock. This has a lot of this potential UPS contract already priced into it. Now let's go back here and look, and then said that it was $6.3 billion. Now let's say, just hypothetically, I want to go with you a couple different scenarios. Let's say they got the entire contract, let's say that they got none of the contract, and let's say that they got part of the contract. Now, if they get none of the contracts, if they get $0 from this UPS contract, I think that Workhorse stock will more than likely plummet. I'm not saying that this is a bad company. I'm not saying that they'll never recover, but I'm saying a lot of this potential share price appreciation has been priced in from this contract that has not went through yet. So if it happens, if they get the full contract, this share price is going to probably break well past $20 a share. Because the cool part about this contract is that it says it's worth upwards of $6.3 billion to get their trucks, their electric vehicle fleet, out on the road. But that also doesn't factor in maintenance, because they're going to have to continually maintenance those vehicles, and Workhorse is also going to get a recurring revenue stream for not only the vehicles that they're producing and selling, but the vehicles as they get older, they will have to maintenance those vehicles, and they will make revenues from that as well. So this is a huge potential for the company, and I think people are already pricing in that they will get at least part of this contract, and if they were to get all of it, this could be massive. This could be a very profitable company very soon. Now let's go ahead and go to the negative sides of things. Let's exit out these bullish articles and let's go ahead and go to the negative side of things. There was a short seller report issued very recently by Fuzzy Panda Research. Don't know why it's called that, but basically they're talking about how this company does not have nearly the capabilities that a lot of investors expect them to have. According to Fuzzy Panda, as once again don't know why it's called that, which is shorting Workhorse stock, VT Hackney pulled out of the competition for the contract last year. That's because VT Hackney decided that any contract that the pair obtained from USPS would not be material. And furthering my previously expressed worries about Workhorse technical capabilities, the report also stated that the company's vehicles have malfunctioned on multiple occasions. Okay? Now I want to keep scrolling down right here. In the past column, I noted that UPS had only acquired 350 of the 1,000 trucks that it ordered from Workhorse in 2018. Further, I wrote that the owners of Workhorse stock should be worried about that issue and concerned by the fact that the company does not appear interested in ordering any more vehicles from Workhorse at this point. Now, what's really interesting, if we go to their balance sheet here and their income statement, which I'll actually be going over this more in the video, if we go to their annual report on their income statement, in 2016, the revenue pretty much shot down to almost zero. Now, they worked for 2 years to renovate their entire company to have a better performing product and a better performing service, so that way they can offer more to potential customers and shareholders in the future, and that's why the revenues went down to virtually zero over the last 2 years, because they had revenues in 2016, 2017, and then the last 2 years just pretty much went to nothing. Now, they ordered 1,000 vehicles and only 350 were delivered. Now, I don't know if that will have any negative impact today, fast forward in 2020, but who knows, it could have a negative impact for this contract. And if we keep on scrolling down here, there's more to go over. More issues with the UPS deal. On October 13th, research firm Roth Capital reported that UPS decided not to award its contract for about 2.5 months. The post office was originally supposed to declare the winner or winners of the bidding process that day. Now, one also major risk to this is that they might keep delaying this decision. Now, I don't think that it will be delayed like 5 years out or anything like that, but every day that goes by that Workhorse does not have this contract is obviously a negative for the company. So right now, people are buying the stock off of speculation and not off of proof. It's almost like you hear the saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. That's what pretty much people are basing this decision off of. Now, if we keep on going here, we go to the next article, and Workhorse has multiple red flags, and it's saying that they do not have any impressive deals lately. The deals that they've had have pretty much flustered out. Now, we can keep going here, and I want to go to the next article. Workhorse is one of the 3 bidders left. Now, that is one of the positives to this, is that there's really only one of 3 companies still in the running for this contract, and Workhorse is one of them. So they definitely do have a pretty good chance of at least getting part of that contract, since there is only 3 people in the running. Now, if we look at this paragraph here, according to Seek and Alpha, the other 2 companies that are in the running for the deal, which is Oshkosh and Morgan Olson, which have been carrying out government contracts for many years, can easily produce thousands of vehicles for the Postal Service and also service them. Now, if you're UPS, something that might be a negative for Workhorse is the fact that they don't have a long track record, almost no track record. And the fact that they didn't deliver on their previous orders back in 2018 is definitely a negative for 2020 orders. Now, they have refined that product, like I mentioned, but the fact that the other 2 companies that are producing vehicles can produce thousands of vehicles like clockwork, like they have been for years, is definitely positive for the other 2 companies. I'm not saying that this is going to be a make or break for the company, but it definitely is a factor to look into. Now, there also is one last piece of negative news, and I wanted to mention in this article, there has been some recent reports that have had some negative malfunctions for their Workhorse drones. They have, quote, poor navigation software and substandard construction. I can't speak to this. I've never used it, but it is something that has been reported, and we'll see whether or not that is a factor in the future. Now, there's one last piece of news that I wanted to mention here. Like I said, I will be looking at the income statement and the balance sheet just really quick going over these. This is something that you need to take into account. Now, like I said, when I invest in my stocks, I'm a dividend investor. And if you look at the 26 companies that I own, you will notice that a lot of these companies are very old. A lot of them have extremely long track records, right? A lot of them are dividend paying companies that have been around for hundreds of years. Now, track record is not everything, but it is a factor that investors do have to take into account. So like I said, if you look in 2018 and 2019, almost no revenue. And if you look at their net income, all 4 years have been negative, even the years that they had revenue. And not only were they negative, they were well into the negative. So the net income for shareholders is a negative number, and that's not a good thing. And even if we look at the quarterly revenues, let's look at all of 2020 so far. They're about to come out with quarter 3 numbers in a couple days, but their revenues, once again, pretty much non-existent. And that net income well into the red, right? Negative $131 million, because these numbers are in thousand, negative $131 million on their income statement just last quarter in 90 days. Now, the one piece of good news I will say for this company as far as the financials go, if we go to their quarterly updates, the last time they reported, they do have a pretty healthy balance sheet with cash and cash equivalents of $26 million and their long-term debt of $20 million. So they could pay off all that long-term debt tomorrow. And the cool part is not only that, they definitely have lots of financing opportunities with other electric vehicle companies, big banks, and investors alike. And they can even issue more stock to bring more value to shareholders in the long run as they can increase revenues. So they do have a great balance sheet. If they can get a sustainable revenue from UPS and then other buyers alike, I think that this company could thrive and could be a massive opportunity in the future. With the growing industry of the electric vehicle market, who knows? We'll see if this company is a make or break. But I will tell you this, I don't think it's one of the extremes on either way. I don't think that the stock is going to be the next Tesla, and I definitely don't think that the stock is going to be the next Nikola. So either way, so looking at Workhorse stock, I think there's definitely some major risk here, but there's also some major potential for reward. So if you're wanting to make it a small position in your portfolio, get after it. But thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support, you guys, for signing up 50 different people to M1 Finance. That has definitely helped support me and my channel. So go ahead and use this link if you're interested. If you want to follow along with me in my investing journey, my dividend income journey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And like I said, everything is disclosed in this channel, from buys, sells, my wins, my losses, everything in the channel you could possibly imagine. So go ahead and follow on with me, and I appreciate you watching, and thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.